Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Moss Acura of North Tampa, and guess what? I have that one smaller crossover SUV from that iconic, long-standing Japanese premium brand. It's this vehicle right here. This is a 2024 Acura RDX. This particular one is an A-Spec. But before we get into this performance red, absolutely love the color, performance red, all-wheel drive crossover SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. If you've been paying attention, and I know you have because you've been watching Rady's Rides, Acura has been bringing lots of changes to their full lineup. One vehicle, though, it's actually their smallest crossover SUV. This is smaller than the MDX. One vehicle that they have not made a lot of changes to is the RDX. Now, they did do a refresh a couple years ago, but that was about it. And even though other vehicles in their lineup have had total redesigns and also has had a new addition of a Type S performance trim in the lineup, this vehicle has not gone down that route. Now it's fascinating because some of the competition, especially from Lexus, has gone through a full redesign and they've been experiencing a lot of changes. But what I want to find out is the 2024 RDX still a good sport luxury crossover SUV to buy? And is it better than, say, a Lexus RX or even the smaller Lexus NX? Let's go ahead, let's dive into our performance red A-Spec trim of the RDX and find out. Right off the bat, the color. Acura has an amazing color palette, and even though I'm partial to Apex blue, I'm liking this performance red. Now at the front of the business, you're gonna see that multi-jewel beam LED headlight design, been there for a while now, still looking good, LED turn signals, and that daytime running lamp chicane style. Now part of the refresh a couple years ago was the front fascia, and one thing that got a lot of change was the corner air curtain vents. So these are actually functional, gloss black with a little bit of flat black, but they are functional. And as you work your way down, you are going to have LED multi-beam fog lamps. When you go A-Spec, you're going to get a little bit of gloss black, not only to match the grille here, but to give it just that sportier little touches. On the other trims, this is more of like an aluminum shiny metal finish. So let me know if you like the little gloss black accents. I'm digging it because they're not huge pieces of gloss black. Now, as we come across that precision crafted performance grille, you're going to get flat black on the center section with that massive Acura badge. We do have a forward-facing camera, and you'll notice how we do gloss black around the perimeter because this is the A-Spec. And the A-Spec is the sportier trim. They just don't have a full performance Type S trim, which really has me scratching my head because I think that would really work on this vehicle. Now working our way down, same grille opening design, fully functional. You'll notice an intercooler behind there because we do have a turbocharged intercooled engine. And I also like the way they brought some flat black to the lower splitter area to match the flat black in the grille. It kind of isn't too overbearing because it's not so shiny with all this gloss black, and I like that. Now working our way up, hood is going to be just like it was since day one. You have the nice rise in the center, goes almost all the way to the windshield. And then I like the way they have these two bulges that are kind of boomerang shape, just to give it some nice style. Now the biggest news for 2024 is all the RDXs for 2024 come standard all-wheel drive. So there's no more front-wheel drive RDX, standard across all the trims. As we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. So you're gonna get this shark gray multi-spoke wheel. Love the look, 20-inch wheel, 255 on the width, 45 series sidewall. Of course, they tuned the brakes and the suspension with a little bit sportier feel because this is the A-Spec. The bummer is you're not getting any extra performance underneath the hood. But I think the biggest takeaway is their dedication to getting the shark gray color correctly. Believe it or not, all of the designers at Acura watched Jaws. Not just Jaws, just 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they watched Sharknado to make sure that this shark gray was on point with what you were seeing in the mirror in the movies, or maybe in the mirror if you are a shark. But it's nice to see that dedication to style and the color. I like the way there's no flat black around the fender opening, and then as we rise up, you'll notice a very tasteful A-Spec badge. Looks good, nothing too gaudy. We got color matched on the mirror caps, our turn signals, gloss black only on the top, and it's just a little bit. No shiny bright metal anywhere. I love the way it doesn't have any roof rails. It makes it look less like a soccer mom vehicle, more sporty, or soccer dad. I'm playing fair. You do have a panoramic sunroof, which is great. Nice to see that on this RDX. And even the way that they did this steak knife little bit of trim here in gloss black on the A-Spec, very tasteful. Working our way towards the rear, like I said, we have that super handling. It's not just regular all-wheel drive, super handling all-wheel drive. Swinging around the back, there's some interesting things going on. So we're gonna have LED taillights, but then we have a Thomas Edison light bulb for turn signals. I'm gonna have to zonk that. And I think Thomas Edison, or as his friends used to call him, Tommy, that's what I called him, Tommy, would definitely zonk that because it deserves to be all LED on an Acura product. The one thing that is a bummer is all the badging in the back is silver. This should be gloss black because it's the A-Spec, but you got your RDX, super handling all-wheel drive. I like the way they work the roof spoiler with a little bit of gloss black. Get rid of this damn thing, please. This needs to be tucked underneath here. They're starting to do it on other models like Lexus is doing with some of their vehicles. Get rid of that. But I love the rest of the back, especially the way they have one more A-Spec badge just to let people know that you didn't just go get a base one. And that's okay if you get a base one because remember, standard, even on a base, all-wheel drive. Now, working our way down, I love the exhaust on the A-Spec. Nice round opening slash cut, stainless steel tip on both sides, and it's a pretty ginormous tip. I mean, you could put a small Florida orange out in there and fire it at somebody right in the groin if they were laying on the ground, and it's gonna hurt them. I kind of like that. And then you have this simulated rear diffuser with a little bit of gloss black on the back. Don't even get me started about this. What the hell? Why do we have to have a honeycomb fake grille design on the lower bumper? What does that say to anybody? I know what it says to me, zonk. But let's go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk about the power of this RDX. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hood struts. Underneath the hood, one engine choice and one engine choice only. I do like the tasteful engine cover, though. I will give them that. I'm just bummed out that there's not a Type S version of this vehicle. But what do we have? We have a 2-liter turbocharged inline 4, 272 horsepower, 280 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission with the all-wheel drive 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds flat. Top speed, for some reason, is governed to 112 miles an hour. MPG's 21 in the city, 26 on the highway, and the vehicle weighs 4,059 pounds. So nice to see that you're getting some turbocharged power, and it's interesting because comparing this to the RX and comparing this to the smaller NX, both of those have turbocharged inline 4-cylinder engines as well. Very close on the horsepower. They have 275 over at Lexus. This has 272. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this A-Spec RDX and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this 2024 Acura RDX A-Spec Performance Red. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I need a new crossover SUV. I let my teenage daughter drive mine the other day, and she crashed it into a palm tree, and a coconut fell and just totaled the whole vehicle once the coconut hit my old vehicle. I'm not even going to tell you what that vehicle is because I'm ashamed. But I am liking this Acura RDX. How much is it? First of all, don't ever let your teenage daughter drive this vehicle if you buy one. Second of all, I hope she's okay. Third of all, MSRP. You're looking at $55,000 for this particular vehicle, the way it's optioned. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. I love what they're still doing on the interior of this RDX. You have the Alcantara microfiber suede material, the red contrast stitching, that's real aluminum there, all that silver. Speaker grille cover and the aluminum up top there is all real deal aluminum. In the corner, that triangle in the upper left-hand corner of the door panel, you'll see that's where your blind spot monitoring is. I like the way it's inside the cabin rather than on the mirror of the side view setup. You also are getting that soft touch leather style material with the red stitching, no gloss black. Door pocket is a good enough size. I would say you could get a Whopper in there, a large onion ring, and a large fry, and of course a Pepsi to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, same story. I love this microfiber suede material, the red stitching, the aluminum trim, even here the way they did all the soft touch. And this design I always thought was really killer, the way it looked. You know, a lot of designs are now that bridge style, but I really like the angled back. Down below you do have a USB-C and a 12 volt. You do have wireless charging and enough room for, I would say, 1, 2, 4 Twinkies. And then up top, you have a 10.25 inch screen. Now, as you probably didn't hear, I didn't say touchscreen because it's not. You have to use the touchpad to navigate through it, but still you have your navigation. Very easy to operate once you get the hang of it. Throw it into reverse. There's your backup camera. I just wish the resolution was a little bit better. That's kind of making me sad how grainy that is. But then you get right back to where we started and all is well in the world. Real deal volume knob. I like the AC controls, dual climate, 3 stages of heated seats, 3 stages of ventilated seats. You do have your dynamic mode selector knob. And Steven's gonna show you on the screen, you even have snow mode. So let's build a snowman and run him over because we have all-wheel drive and we have snow mode. But I'm gonna stick it in sport because look, the RDX is on fire. I like that. Our push button transmission, 10-speed automatic. There's that touchpad. I'm telling you, it's a piece of cake once you get the hang of it. Love the aluminum finish here. Slide this open. Whoa, USB-A, 2 cup holders. And you could put, I would say, one of those pickles in a bag. You ever gone to a weird convenience store and they have like sitting by the register a big old container of these pickles in these bags and it's all pickle juice? You could put one of those in there. Slide it, close it up. Super soft, love the stitching. Open it up. Now you got another area where you could easily put, I would say, you could probably squish 5 Beanie Babies in there. Just don't put Peanut in there because Peanut, the elephant, is worth about $5 grand. So just be aware there's a lot of fakes out there on the interwebs. What they do is they buy the regular elephant and they dye it blue to look like Peanut. It's crazy what people will do. The materials, the leather, the microfiber suede, the stitching, full electric assist for the passenger, full electric assist for the driver. And like we pointed out outside, you have that ginormous panoramic sunroof. Everybody gets some Sunny D on their face. And then you do have that power shade, which is really nice. But I could go for a nice tall glass of Sunny D, but I don't have any right now. But why don't you come over here so we can show you behind the wheel of this RDX. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory seat settings, but promise me you will not let your teenage daughter that wrecked your last car wreck this beauty. Promise me. Put it in the comment section. Down below, I do like the A-Spec aluminum sill plate, and the pedal box is straight out of an Acura race car. Nice large aluminum dead pedal, brake pedal, and throttle, and we have the A-Spec all-weather mats. That's worth an extra 5 horsepower. You do have all your great seat controls. Ooh, I like that. That feels good on my lower lumbar. And then tons of space here. Like I said, this is not as small as a Lexus NX, but it's not as large as a Lexus RX. It's crazy how Acura did that. What's even crazier is I love this wheel. It's like right out of an Acura NSX. Flat bottom. You got the 2 different types of leather, flat black on all the switch gear, the aluminum finish, the A-Spec badge, paddles on the back of the wheel to go up and down that 10-speed automatic. It is a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then you do have that small digital display in the center, which will allow you to scroll through different information. And then you have an analog tach and speedometer I like the analog tach speedometer because they're backlit LED, red LED gauges, and they look great with the silver finish on it. And to top things off, like the cherry on top of a sundae, you get a HUD, head-up display, in this RDX. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the back seat because I want to go for a drive in this A-Spec. All right, guys, backseat time, and this is just an area where the RDX shines. I mean, 6 feet tall, plenty of room in here. I love the multi-speakers all over the place. I feel like I'm almost sitting on a speaker with that ELS Studio 3D premium sound system. Back to the seat, you do have plastic. I'm okay with that because I know your kids are probably gonna kick the seat and I don't want them messing up the leather material. I'd rather them hit this so that you can just wipe it off. Pull this back. You could put a couple issues of Nintendo Power in there. Maybe get some of the cheat codes, maybe buy yourself a Game Genie. And then of course you have your rear AC vents, 2 USB-Cs, and we have 3 stages of heated seats back here, which is nice on a cold day. Definitely not cold today, that's for sure. But actually fairly comfortable back here. Pull this down. Got a nice center armrest. Charmin Soft approved. 2 cup holders. And they didn't cheap out on the seat design. It's the same great style as the front seats. But let's get into the cargo area because like I said, I want to go for a drive. Let's get back there. All right, guys, cargo area time. It's really interesting because this RDX really is not the same size as an NX, and it's not the same size as a Lexus RX. It's kind of in between, and I think that's one of the reasons why I like it so much. So you're gonna hit the button, get a little bit of a beep, nice electric assist. You're gonna be greeted to a generous amount of room, and I also wanna point out how low the liftover is. Very, very nice. You have some aluminum finish here, because we all know that your kids aren't gonna lift out their crap. They're gonna drag it and scrape all the plastic. So this will last longer. I do like the way you have this large nook for a gallon of chocolate milk. Remember, chocolate milk comes from brown cows. White milk comes from the rest of the cow family. I don't know if you knew that, but that's what I'm here. I'm here to bring you the information. How much room do we have? I know you want that information. You're looking at 30 cubic feet of space with the seats up. I do like the way you have your subwoofer for the ELS sound system back here. We also do have a 12 volt. So if you need to warm up your chocolate milk, maybe make some hot cocoa, you could do that back here. And I love the way they have these handles that you pull to fold the seats down. And obviously that's a 60-40 split. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the most important thing of any Acura drive. Let's get to the actual driving. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle in this RDX. All right, guys, we're inside this 2024 Acura RDX A-Spec. Right away, I love the sporty feeling in here. The seats are superb. Everywhere you're touching, the materials they use are really top-notch. And yes, it doesn't have a touchscreen, but if you could get over that, if that's like the worst thing that you have to deal with in your life, I think that you're gonna find that there's many other things to love about this RDX A-Spec to counteract how you feel about it not having a touchscreen. Real easy to shut off that pesky auto start stop feature. I like the way you just twist your dynamic mode selector to get what mode you want to be in. Obviously we're going to stay in sport, but the way everything is laid out in here, it's like it makes sense why they didn't redesign this because they got it so right. I mean, sometimes you have to say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Now, is it perfect? No. I would like the screen to be different. And I'm not saying necessarily a touchscreen. I just need some type of different way of displaying the information. I know many of you would want a full digital gauge cluster, but I like the way that it has a head-up display. And I love all of the great storage in here. Underneath, in your different compartments, and everything, just like I said, it's awesome, the feel of the materials in here. And then of course you have that nice large panoramic sunroof. And just everything else well laid out in here, not only for the driver, but also for the passengers as well. Pulling away from the light, you can see how we have all of the sensory technology from Acura. Blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, emergency brake assist, all those goodies. And just the way the 10-speed gets down to business, it shifts really, really well. very smoothly. I actually have displayed here in the center the all-wheel drive, the super handling all-wheel drive, how the power is being sent to all four wheels, which obviously on highway conditions it's going to be primarily front-wheel drive, and then as you get on throttle it will send more power to the rear wheels. But I think one of the key things that I could say about an Acura is that this thing is very, very balanced, and that shows all the great engineering that Acura has done from their race cars to their road cars. But visibility out the front is fantastic. Mirrors are a great size. And like I said, having the blind spot monitoring on the interior just allows you to take notice of it so much quicker and easier. Now, obviously in sport mode, that's going to adjust how the transmission and the engine interact with one another, the steering sensitivity, and also the throttle sensitivity. There is some pumped-in sound that's coming into the cabin, but the good news is it's nothing too atrocious, and it kind of works well with the speed as it climbs. You know, sometimes these synthetic sounds just sound stupid. They really do. But they really tune this well to make it feel more natural, like a more natural engine note. But this, I really feel, is the Goldilocks of overall size of a crossover SUV. Just big enough to get the people that you love, or maybe the people you don't love, inside, and also all of your junk, but yet still be very manageable on the road. Like, I know where all four corners of this vehicle are at all four times. It's not cumbersome. It's just a pleasure to be behind the wheel. And that's saying a lot because, like I said, compared to the competition, this has not received a full redesign. It was just a refresh. But I want to take you down some twists and turns to show off the super handling all-wheel drive, because that's one of the jewels in Acura's crown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow down. Nobody's behind us, so that's good. Are you ready? Because I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. So that shows the power being sent to all four wheels. Nice, smooth, quick shifts. On the brakes. Brakes feel good. Here we go, look at this. And this is what Acura does. They put great handling characteristics into all their vehicles. Not just an NSX, not just an Integra Type S, but all of their vehicles. It's just really, really so smooth. It's fun to drive, and it still looks so good, even though it's been a few years since the refresh. I also like the way you got heated seats and ventilated seats. I'm gonna go ahead and put into sport shift mode. We're gonna use the paddles. You got a small gear indicator. You ready? On throttle, here we go. On the brakes. Nice, look at that. Decreasing radius. Piece of pie. This is where you get to have some fun. And like I said, you have smooth shifts whether the vehicle is doing it automatically or if you're using the paddles. The shifts are smooth up and down, which is really nice. You do have your full navigation, and once you get used to the interface touchpad, it's such a breeze, man. It doesn't have to be this big war that we're fighting between Acura and everybody else. Because if I want navigation, you just hit in the upper left-hand corner. If I want to adjust the second part of the screen, I mean, I don't know how much easier it can get. And the best news is you don't get stupid greasy KFC fingerprints all over the infotainment system. But I'm hoping that this has been a good overall review of what the RDX is bringing, especially the A-Spec for 2024. We're gonna get back to Moss Acura of North Tampa and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another great day. Starting to get hot here in Florida. You'll notice by the driplets of sweat all over my face. But you know what? We definitely got to thank Albert, Angelo, and the rest of the team here at Moss Acura in North Tampa for getting us access to this beautiful 2024 Acura RDX A-Spec. Let me know what you think. Do you think that this is still a good sport luxury SUV to buy? And do you think it's better than the competition from Lexus? Because those are like the arch rivals. Let me know down in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Of course, we need to give it up, Stephen Flood Photography. Show him some love in the comment section. He was actually chosen by the Gundam World Fan Club to be the official videographer and photographer of their yearly celebration in Japan. So show him some love in that comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. Good luck on your Gundam journeys. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.